Hello everyone, welcome to the English Globe. I hope you all are well and feeling good today. My name is Adam, and I'm so happy to be here with you again. Today, we have a very special and important topic for our podcast. It's something that many people experience in their daily life. Some people feel it when they are busy, some feel it when they have problems, and some people feel it for no clear reason at all. Yes, we are talking about stress and anxiety.
Hi everyone, this is Julia, and thank you for joining us. We are really happy to spend this time with you. So let's talk about it. Have you ever felt nervous before an exam? Or maybe you had too many things to do and your heart started beating fast. Maybe you couldn't sleep, or you were thinking too much. That is stress, and it is something that happens to all of us. So don't worry, you are not alone. In this podcast, we are going to talk about stress and anxiety in very simple English. We will explain what it is, why we feel it, and how we can feel better again.
Yes, exactly. You are not alone, my friend. We all feel stress sometimes. It doesn't matter if you are a student, a worker, a parent, or a teacher. Everyone feels stress in different ways. But the good news is this: we can learn how to deal with it. We can learn how to feel calm. We can learn how to relax and take care of our body and our mind. And in this episode, Julia and I will help you do that, step by step, with easy words, clear examples, and friendly conversation.
That's right, Adam. And don't worry, we will speak slowly and clearly. If you are a beginner in English, this episode is perfect for you. You will learn new words about feelings. You will hear real conversations, and you will also practice speaking with us. We want you to feel comfortable and confident. You will learn not just English, but also something very helpful for your life.
Now, before we start, let me ask you a simple question, dear listener. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling good and relaxed, or are you feeling a little tired, maybe a little worried? It's okay. You can take a deep breath now. Let's try it together. Breathe in slowly, and now breathe out slowly. Good. That's one small way to help with stress. And in this episode, we will share more ideas like that.
Yes. We are going to talk about what stress is, what causes it, how it feels in the body, and most importantly, how to manage it. You don't need anything special. Just listen, learn, and relax with us. Maybe you are walking now, or cooking, or sitting in your room. Wherever you are, we are with you. You are doing great.
And one more thing before we begin. This podcast is not just about teaching English. It's about real life. It's about helping you grow stronger, feel better, and learn to express your feelings in English. Because when you can speak about your feelings, you feel more in control. And that is powerful.
So get ready. This is going to be a long, calm, and helpful journey. If you can, take a notebook and write down new words. Try to repeat after us. Talk with us. Pause the podcast when you need. Listen again later. You are here, and that's already a big step. All right then, let's begin our journey. Let's talk about stress. What is it? Why do we feel it? And what can we do about it? Stay with us. This is the English Globe, and we are just getting started.
Now that we are ready to begin, let's talk about the first important question. What is stress? Stress is a feeling that happens when something in your life feels too hard or too much. It can be something big, like a problem at school or at work, or it can be something small, like being late for a meeting or forgetting something important. When we feel stress, our body and mind feel pressure. This pressure can make us feel tired, nervous, or even angry. Stress is not always bad. It can help us move faster or work harder, but when we feel it too much, it can hurt our health and happiness.
That's right, Adam. Let's make it simple. Stress is like your brain's way of saying, hey, something is not right. Imagine you are walking, and suddenly you see a big dog barking loudly. Your heart starts beating fast. You feel scared. Your body wants to run away or protect itself. That is stress. but it also happens in daily life. If you have a lot of homework, or your boss gives you too much work, your brain feels danger, even if nothing is really dangerous. So stress is not just about danger. It's also about pressure, fear, or change. And when it happens again and again, it becomes a problem.
Now let's also talk about anxiety. Some people think stress and anxiety are the same, but they are a little different. Stress usually comes from something we can see or understand. For example, we feel stress before a big test or an interview. But anxiety is more like a deep worry that stays even when there is no big problem. Anxiety can make you feel nervous every day, even when things are okay. It's like a small voice in your head always asking, "What if something bad happens?" Anxiety is when worry becomes part of your daily life, and it makes it hard to relax or feel calm.
Yes, anxiety is like a cloud in your mind that does not go away. You may think, what if I make a mistake? Or, what if people don't like me? Even when there is no real reason to worry. These thoughts can make you feel afraid, even when you are safe. And your body may feel it too. You might feel your heart beat fast, your hands shake, or your stomach hurt. Stress and anxiety both affect your body and your mind. That's why it's important to understand them. When we know what they are, we can learn how to deal with them. And don't worry, we will teach you how, step by step.
Let's remember something important, friends. Feeling stress or anxiety does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. Everyone in the world feels these things. Even strong people, famous people, and happy people feel them. Sometimes, people hide their stress so we don't see it. But inside, many people are feeling the same things as you. So don't feel bad if you feel stress. Don't feel shy to talk about it. That's why we're here, to help you learn and feel better. You are not alone, and you can get stronger.
Exactly. And when we talk about feelings in English, we also learn how to express ourselves better. Saying, I feel stressed, or I am anxious today, helps us understand what is happening inside. It also helps others understand us. When you learn to talk about your feelings, you feel more in control. You can ask for help. You can take action. So learning English is not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's also about life. Today you are learning to name your feelings, and that is a very powerful skill.
So let's review quickly before we move on. Stress is your body's and mind's reaction to something difficult or new. Anxiety is when worry stays in your mind for a long time, even when there is no big reason. Both of them are normal. Both of them can happen to anyone, and both of them can be managed. In the next part of our podcast, we will talk about what causes stress, what things in life make people feel this way. We will give real examples, and you might hear something that sounds like your own life.
Yes, and we want you to listen carefully. Maybe you will say, yes, that happens to me too. When you hear something familiar, it means you are learning, you are growing, and you are not alone. So take a breath, get comfortable, and stay with us. We're going to continue this journey together. Money is also a very big reason why many people feel stressed in their daily lives, especially when they do not have enough to pay for the things they need, like rent, food, clothes, transportation, or education. And this pressure grows heavier when bills keep coming and the salary is not enough to cover everything, which causes a constant worry in the mind. People may start thinking thoughts like, how will I take care of my family? Or, what will happen if I lose my job tomorrow? And those thoughts do not go away easily. They come back again and again, especially late at night when it's quiet and your mind has time to think deeply. This type of financial stress can make a person feel afraid of the future, unsure about their choices, and even angry or ashamed, even though it is something many people go through in life.
Health problems are another very common cause of stress, because when your body is not feeling well, maybe you are sick, you have pain, or you are waiting for medical results, it creates fear in your mind, and you begin to ask many questions like, what if this is serious? Or how long will it take to get better? And that worry keeps building day after day. Sometimes even small health problems can feel big because your brain thinks about them again and again, especially if you don't know what is happening or if you are waiting to talk to a doctor. Also, when someone in your family is sick, like a parent, a child, or your partner, you can feel even more stress because you want to help, but maybe you don't know how. This emotional pressure affects both your thoughts and your body.
Another cause of stress that many people don't always think about is social pressure, which means feeling like you must act a certain way or live a certain life because of what other people expect from you, like your family, your friends, or even people on social media. Maybe you feel like you must always look happy, be successful, get high marks in school, or have a perfect job. And when you cannot do all of that, you feel like a failure, even though you are trying your best. This kind of stress can be very quiet and hard to see from the outside, but inside, it hurts a lot because you feel like you are never good enough. Comparing yourself to others is a big part of this, and it's something we all do sometimes without even realizing it.
One more very powerful cause of stress is lack of rest and sleep, which many people experience without understanding how serious it is. Because when your body does not get enough sleep, your mind cannot work well, your emotions become more sensitive, and even small problems feel very big. Imagine staying up late every night, thinking about work, school, or your future. Your brain never gets time to relax, and that creates more and more tension in your body. Over time, this can make you feel tired during the day, angry for no reason, or unable to focus on anything. Sleep is not just rest for your body, it is also healing for your mind. And when we don't get enough of it, stress becomes much harder to control.
As you can see, stress comes from many different places in life. School, work, money, relationships, health, change, social pressure, and even sleep. Sometimes, one problem leads to another, like a chain reaction. For example, if you are tired from not sleeping, it's harder to focus at work. Then you feel behind on your tasks, which causes more stress and maybe even problems with your boss. That's why it's so important to understand the cause of your stress. Not just the feeling, but what is making it happen. When you know the reason, you can start to find real solutions. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. How to deal with stress in a healthy and simple way, step by step.
Now that we've talked about the many reasons people feel stress, let's move to something very helpful and very important. How to reduce stress in your daily life in simple and healthy ways, even if you are very busy or tired. One of the easiest and most powerful things you can do is to breathe deeply. Yes, it sounds simple, but deep breathing really works because it sends a message to your brain that says, "It's okay, you are safe now." When you feel stress, your breathing becomes fast and shallow and your heart beats quickly. But when you stop for a moment, sit down, and take a long, slow breath in through your nose and then slowly breathe out through your mouth, your body starts to relax. Even just 5 slow breaths can make a big difference. You can do it any time, at home, at work, or even while walking. This is something small, but it gives your brain and body a short break, and that break helps you feel more calm and more clear in your mind.
Another way to reduce stress that is simple and helpful is to take a short walk, especially outside in the fresh air or around nature if possible. Because when you move your body, your brain starts to release chemicals that help you feel happier and more relaxed, and this helps you take your focus away from the problem that is making you feel worried. You don't need to walk for a long time. Even 10 or 15 minutes is enough. Just put on your shoes, go outside, and start walking slowly. Look at the trees, the sky, the people around you. Try to notice small things like a bird singing or a flower near the road. This helps your mind come back to the present moment, instead of thinking too much about yesterday or worrying too much about tomorrow. Being in nature is like medicine for stress, and walking is also good for your health, your heart, and your energy. So when you feel heavy inside, take a short walk and let your mind rest.
Writing down your thoughts in a notebook or a journal is another very powerful way to reduce stress, especially when your mind is full of different feelings and you don't know how to express them. Sometimes we feel like we are holding so many things inside, like fear, anger, sadness, or confusion, and these feelings keep going in circles inside our head. But when you sit down and write about them, even if it's just one sentence, it helps you understand what's going on inside you. You don't need perfect grammar or spelling. You don't need to show it to anyone. Just write how you feel. For example, you can write, "Today, I feel tired because I have too many things to do," or "I feel sad because I argued with a friend." This small act gives your emotions a place to go. It helps you see your thoughts more clearly, and when you see them, they often feel smaller. Writing also helps you find new ideas or solutions, and it can give you a sense of peace after a long and stressful day.
Another important method for managing stress is to talk to someone you trust, because when you speak out loud about your feelings, it often helps you understand them better. And it also reminds you that you are not alone in what you are going through. Stress becomes much heavier when we try to carry it all by ourselves, thinking no one will understand or no one will listen. But when you open up to a friend, a family member, or even a teacher or counselor, you create a space for connection and healing. It doesn't mean you need to have a big emotional conversation. It can be as simple as saying, "I'm feeling stressed these days," or "I just need someone to talk to." The other person doesn't need to fix your problem. Just having someone listen with kindness can make you feel supported and less alone. Sometimes saying your feelings out loud is the first step toward letting them go, and talking to others helps you see that what you are feeling is normal and human.
Now let's talk about something very important: how to stop stress before it begins. This is called prevention, and it means building good habits into your daily life so that your body and mind are stronger and more ready when problems come. One of the best habits is having a daily routine. When your day has structure, your brain feels safe and more in control. A routine doesn't have to be complicated. You can start small by waking up at the same time every day, eating healthy meals at regular times, and giving yourself moments for rest. Try to avoid staying up too late or skipping meals, because this can make your body tired and your mind weak. When your body is strong and rested, you can handle stress much better. A regular routine is like a guide. It tells your brain what's next, so you don't have to worry all the time. This helps reduce confusion, pressure, and fear of the unknown, which are big causes of stress.
Another healthy habit that helps prevent stress is doing regular physical exercise, even if it's just a little bit every day, because when you move your body, your brain produces chemicals that help you feel more relaxed, more focused, and even happier. You don't need to go to the gym or do hard workouts. Simple things like stretching in the morning, dancing to music in your room, riding a bicycle, or walking up and down the stairs can make a big difference in how you feel. Exercise is not only good for your physical health, it's also one of the best ways to take care of your mental health. It gives your body a way to release energy, especially when that energy comes from stress or anxiety. When you sit still for too long, stress can build up inside. But when you move, it helps your body release that stress in a natural way. Even 10 to 20 minutes a day can help you feel stronger, more balanced, and ready for anything.
Healthy eating is another very powerful habit that people often forget when they talk about stress. But the food you eat has a strong effect on your mood, your energy, and your ability to think clearly. When you eat too much sugar, processed food, or drink too much caffeine, it can make your body feel tired, your mind feel anxious, and your emotions become more sensitive. But when you eat fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and drink clean water, your body feels better, and your brain works better too. Eating well doesn't have to be expensive or difficult. You can start with small changes. Drink more water instead of soda, eat one fruit a day, and reduce snacks that are high in sugar. These simple steps can help your body feel more balanced, which means you'll feel calmer and stronger. Good food is like fuel for your mind. When your body is full of good energy, it's easier to face daily challenges without feeling overwhelmed.
One more habit that helps prevent stress is creating time for quiet moments where you give your mind a rest from noise, screens, and information. In today's world, many people are always looking at their phone, checking social media, watching videos, or listening to news. And even though it seems fun or relaxing, it actually fills your mind with more and more information, which can create hidden stress. So, it's important to have time during the day when you do nothing but relax, sit quietly, listen to soft music, or just close your eyes and breathe. This doesn't mean you need to meditate for hours. Just 5 to 10 minutes of quiet can help your brain rest, like taking a small nap. You can do this in the morning after waking up or in the evening before sleep. These quiet breaks give your mind a chance to breathe, organize your thoughts, and feel more calm. With practice, this habit becomes a powerful tool for living with less stress and more peace.
Sometimes, even when you try to stay calm, follow healthy habits, and take deep breaths, stress still becomes too strong, and you start to feel like everything is out of control. Your thoughts move too fast, your body feels heavy, and your heart starts to beat quickly. In these moments, it's very important to remember that you are not alone, and it's okay to ask for help. Everyone, no matter how strong they look, has moments like this, and there is nothing wrong with needing support. The first thing you should do is stop whatever you are doing and find a safe and quiet place to sit. Put your hand on your chest and take slow, deep breaths. Tell yourself, I am safe, I am okay, I can get through this. These small words can help bring your mind back to the present moment. Sometimes repeating calming words is like a soft hand holding you during a storm. It doesn't solve everything, but it helps you hold on.
If stress continues and you feel like you can't manage it alone, speaking with a professional, like a counselor, therapist, or doctor, can be a very helpful and healthy step. Many people think that only serious problems need therapy, but that's not true. You don't need to wait until everything falls apart. A mental health professional is someone trained to listen without judging and to help you find tools to deal with your feelings. They can teach you how to understand your emotions and how to manage your reactions in difficult situations. Just one conversation can make you feel lighter. If you are a student, many schools or universities have free or low-cost counselors. If you are working, some jobs also offer emotional support services. Asking for help doesn't mean you are weak. It means you are brave and ready to take care of yourself. Just like we visit a doctor when our body is sick, we can also see someone when our mind feels unwell.
Also, one thing that helps many people during very stressful times is doing something creative. When your emotions are too big for words, your hands and your heart can still express them. You can try drawing, painting, singing, dancing, or even cooking something special. These activities don't have to be perfect or professional. The goal is not to make something beautiful. The goal is to give your emotions a place to go. Creativity helps the brain process feelings in a peaceful and quiet way. It gives your heart some space to breathe. Even simple things like coloring in a book, playing a musical instrument, or writing short poems can help you feel more calm and in control. When you feel too much stress, don't hold it all inside. Let it out through something you enjoy doing, even if it's just for a few minutes. That short time can bring a big feeling of relief.
Sometimes one of the best things you can do when stress becomes too much is do something kind for someone else. It may sound strange, but helping others can actually help you too. When you show kindness by listening to a friend, helping your family, or even smiling at someone, it reminds you that you have power, that you can bring light into someone's life. This can give you a new sense of meaning and strength. It shifts your focus from your own pain to someone else's happiness. This doesn't mean you forget about your problems, but it helps make them feel smaller. Even small actions, like sending a kind message, sharing a meal, or volunteering your time, can bring peace to your heart. When stress is too much, kindness can be your medicine. It's a way of saying, the world is still beautiful, and I am still a part of it.
Now, Julia, we've talked about many helpful actions, like walking, breathing, eating healthy, and talking to others. But there's one more thing that is very, very important when it comes to stress and anxiety. That is our thinking. Yes, our thoughts. Sometimes stress becomes worse not because of the situation itself, but because of the way we think about that situation. For example, two people may both fail a test. One person might think, I failed, but I can learn and do better next time. The other person might think, I failed because I'm stupid and I'll never succeed. You see, the same event, but two very different ways of thinking. One is helpful and gives hope. The other one makes the person feel worse. So, it's very important to learn how to notice our thoughts and change the ones that are not helpful.
Yes, Adam, that's true. When we are stressed, our minds often create negative thoughts that go round and round like a wheel. These are called automatic thoughts because they come very fast, and we usually don't stop to question them. For example, when something bad happens, we might think everything is going wrong, or this always happens to me, or even I can't do anything right. These thoughts are painful, and they make us feel more anxious, more afraid, and more tired. But we have to remember, thoughts are not always true. They are just thoughts, not facts. So when we notice a negative thought, we can pause and ask, is this really true? Is there another way to see this? What would I say to my best friend if they had this thought? These questions help us see the situation in a calmer, more realistic way, and that helps reduce stress.
Exactly. And one simple way to do this is to practice something called thought replacement. That means when you notice a negative thought, you stop, take a deep breath, and try to replace it with a more positive or balanced thought. For example, if you think, I'm so bad at English, I'll never learn it, you can replace it with, learning English is hard, but I'm trying every day and I'm getting better. This doesn't mean lying to yourself. It means speaking kindly to yourself, just like you would speak kindly to someone you care about. If a friend said, I'm so bad at this, you wouldn't say, yes, you are. You would say, don't worry, you're learning. You'll improve. So why not talk to yourself in the same gentle and caring way?
I love that idea. Talking to yourself like a friend. That's such an important lesson. Many people are kind to others, but they are not kind to themselves. They say things to themselves that they would never say to another person. And this creates a lot of stress inside. So one way to reduce stress is to change the way you speak to yourself. You can practice using kind words. For example, say, I'm trying my best, or it's okay to make mistakes, or I don't need to be perfect, I just need to keep going. When you speak with kindness to yourself, your brain and your heart feel more safe. This safety helps you relax. And when you're relaxed, your mind can think more clearly. You'll be able to solve problems better and handle stress with more strength.
And here's another important idea, Julia. Many people think that stress is always bad, but actually, stress is not the enemy. Stress is a message. It's your body and mind saying something needs attention. It's like a red light on a car. If the light turns on, you don't get angry at the light. You check the engine. Stress is the same. When you feel stressed, instead of saying, why am I feeling like this? Try asking, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Maybe it's telling you to slow down. Maybe it's telling you to rest. Maybe it's telling you that something in your life needs to change. When you see stress as a message instead of a monster, you become more powerful. You stop fighting the stress and you start learning from it.
Yes, and one way to understand your stress is to write down your thoughts when you feel anxious or worried. You can create 2 columns. In the first column, write down your negative thoughts like, I can't do this, or I'm afraid I will fail. Then, in the second column, write down a more helpful thought, like, this is hard, but I'm doing my best, or it's okay to fail sometimes. I can learn and try again. This activity helps your brain to see the difference between fear and truth. It also gives you control over your own thinking. You start to see that you can choose your thoughts. And when you choose more positive and realistic thoughts, your stress becomes smaller and easier to manage.
That's a great exercise, Julia. And I think it's also helpful to remember that we don't have to believe everything we feel. Sometimes we feel anxious, even when nothing is wrong. Sometimes we feel afraid, even when we are safe. That's normal. Feelings are like the weather. They change. Some days it rains. Some days it's sunny. But the sky is always there. You are the sky. Your feelings are just the clouds. They will pass. So when you feel very stressed or anxious, you can say to yourself, "This feeling will pass. I am strong. I can handle this." These small words can give you big strength. And over time, your brain will learn to stay calm even during storms.
Yes, and I want to tell everyone listening, don't feel bad if you have stress. Stress is part of being human. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are just living, growing, learning. And sometimes learning is hard, but you are doing it. Every day that you try to take care of yourself, every day you take a deep breath, every day you speak kindly to yourself, you are winning. You are making progress. And we are proud of you. Keep going. Don't give up. And always remember, you are not alone. We are here with you.
So, Julia, we've talked about how to handle stress when it comes, but wouldn't it be great if we could do something every day to prevent stress before it becomes too strong? Many people wait until they feel overwhelmed, but building small, healthy habits every day can make your mind and body stronger, so when stress shows up, you're ready for it. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't wait for a toothache. You brush every day to protect your teeth. In the same way, we can do small things daily to protect our peace of mind. These habits may seem simple, but when we do them every day, they can create a big difference in how we feel.
Absolutely, Adam. One of the best daily habits for mental health is having a morning routine. The way you start your day can affect your mood for many hours. You don't need a long or complicated plan. Even just 10 minutes of quiet time in the morning can make your mind feel calm and focused. You can start by sitting up in bed, taking 3 deep breaths, and saying something kind to yourself like, "Today is a new day. I will do my best." Then maybe stretch your arms, drink a glass of water, and spend 5 minutes doing something peaceful, like listening to soft music or writing in a notebook. This gives your mind a calm beginning, so when the world gets noisy, you already feel strong inside. And over time, this small habit can help you deal with stress more calmly and clearly.
That's a great point. And I also believe that movement is one of the best natural medicines for stress. Many people think they need to go to the gym or do hard exercise, but even simple movement, like walking or dancing in your room, can help reduce anxiety. Our bodies were made to move, and when we move, we help our brains release chemicals that make us feel better, like endorphins, which are sometimes called happy chemicals. You can try walking for just 15 minutes in the morning or after dinner, or stretch your body while listening to your favorite music. When you move your body, your thoughts also start to move. You feel more free, more open, and more alive. So don't wait for stress to grow. Get ahead of it by making movement a part of your daily life.
Another important habit is journaling. Writing down your thoughts every day can help you understand your emotions better and find peace. Sometimes we don't know why we're feeling stressed until we take a pen and start writing. You can write about your day, your feelings, your dreams, or even your problems. There is no right or wrong way. You don't have to be a great writer, just be honest. The goal is not to be perfect, but to be real. You can also write a list of 3 things you are thankful for each day. Gratitude helps your brain focus on the good things, even when life is difficult. Over time, this daily writing habit becomes a quiet friend who listens without judging, and that is very powerful.
Yes, and let's not forget the power of sleep. Good sleep is one of the most important tools for preventing stress. When we don't sleep well, our brains can't work properly. We feel tired, we get angry faster, and even small problems feel big. That's why it's important to have a bedtime routine. You can start by turning off your phone or computer 30 minutes before bed. The bright light from screens can confuse your brain and make it harder to fall asleep. Try reading a book, listening to calm music, or doing some deep breathing before sleep. Also, try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day. This helps your body create a healthy rhythm. When you sleep well, your mind becomes more peaceful, and it's much easier to handle stress during the day.
Adam, I also want to talk about something very important: social connection. Many people feel alone when they are stressed, and that feeling can make things worse. But we all need connection. We are not machines. We are humans, and we need each other. That's why it's good to make time each day to talk to someone you trust. It can be a friend, a family member, a teacher, or even a group online where people support each other. You don't always need to talk about your problems. Just having a conversation about life, or even sharing a laugh, can make your heart feel lighter. And if you don't have someone to talk to right now, don't give up. Look for communities, clubs, or online groups where people are kind and respectful. Building a support system takes time, but it's one of the best habits for emotional health.
And let's not forget about breathing. It might sound too simple, but many people don't breathe deeply during the day. When we are stressed, we often take quick, shallow breaths, and that makes anxiety worse. So try to make deep breathing part of your daily life. Even just 5 minutes in the morning or at night can help. You can sit quietly, place one hand on your belly, and breathe in slowly through your nose. Then breathe out gently through your mouth. Do this slowly. Count to 4 when you breathe in, and count to 6 when you breathe out. This tells your brain, "I'm safe, I can relax." Over time, deep breathing can become a powerful tool to calm your mind anytime you feel nervous or overwhelmed.
One more daily habit that I find helpful is mindful moments. These are short times during the day when you stop and focus fully on the present. For example, when you are drinking your tea or coffee, just stop and enjoy it. Feel the warmth of the cup, the smell, the taste. Don't look at your phone. Don't think about work. Just enjoy that one moment. When we do this, our brains take a little rest from the stress of the day. You can do this when you're washing your hands, walking outside, or even watching the sky. These small breaks of mindfulness can add peace to your day, and when you practice them often, your mind becomes stronger and more focused.
So let's bring all of this together. If you want to prevent stress, you don't need to change your whole life. You can start with just 1 or 2 small habits each day. A few deep breaths in the morning, a short walk in the evening, writing down your thoughts before bed, saying kind words to yourself when you feel tired. These habits may seem small, but they are like drops of water filling a glass. One drop doesn't make a big difference, but many drops together can fill the glass. And just like that, small habits done every day can fill your heart with strength and calm. The more you practice, the more you grow.
Exactly, and remember, it's okay to miss a day. Life is busy. We all have bad days. But the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to keep going. Each time you choose a healthy habit instead of stress, you are building a better life. You are training your brain to feel safe, focused, and strong. And most of all, you are showing yourself love. Because taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. You deserve peace. You deserve rest. You deserve to feel good inside. So don't wait for stress to take control. Start today. Even a few minutes can make a big difference.
All right, Julia, we've talked about daily habits like breathing, movement, and routines. But I think there's one more very important area we should talk about, and that's our lifestyle. Many people don't realize that the way we eat, drink, and live every day affects how we feel inside. Stress doesn't only come from outside situations. Sometimes stress grows because we're not giving our body the right things. If we eat poor food, don't drink enough water, or live in a messy, noisy space, it becomes hard for our mind to stay calm. So in this section, let's explore how small changes in our lifestyle can help reduce stress and anxiety naturally.
You're so right, Adam. Let's begin with food. What we eat plays a big role in our mental health. Our brain needs energy and nutrients to function well, just like a car needs good fuel. If we eat too much sugar, junk food, or processed snacks, it can make our mood go up and down quickly. This can create more anxiety and less energy. On the other hand, eating fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats can give our brain the support it needs. Foods rich in omega-3 like fish, chia seeds, or walnuts are especially good for the brain. Try adding colourful foods to your plate. The more natural and less processed your food is, the better your body and mind will feel. And remember, eating slowly and peacefully helps your stomach and brain work better together.
Yes, and along with food, we can't forget about water. Many people feel tired or stressed simply because they are dehydrated. The human body is made mostly of water, and even a small lack of it can affect our mood, focus, and energy. So how can we fix this? It's simple. Try to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water each day. If you're not used to it, start slowly. You can carry a bottle with you and take small sips during the day. Drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning can help wake up your body and mind. Also, be careful with too much coffee or sugary drinks. They might give you a short burst of energy, but they can lead to crashes later, which adds to stress. Staying hydrated is a small thing that can make a big difference.
Absolutely, Adam. And another important point is our environment, the place where we live, work, and rest. Our surroundings affect how we feel. If our room or home is very messy, loud, or dark, our brain can start to feel the same way, confused, crowded, and tired. But if we take time to clean up, add light, and make our space calm, our mind will feel more peaceful too. You don't need a big house or expensive decorations. Just start small. Open a window to let in fresh air. Clean one corner of your room. Add a plant, or put up a picture that makes you smile. You can even play soft background music to help your mind relax. A peaceful space helps create a peaceful mind.
That's a great tip, Julia. Let's also talk about screen time. These days, we spend many hours looking at phones, computers, and TVs. While these devices help us connect and learn, they can also add to stress, especially when we're always checking social media, news, or messages. Our brain gets too much information and not enough rest. That's why it's important to take breaks from screens. You can set a rule like no screens 1 hour before bed, or take 5-minute screen breaks every hour while working. Instead of scrolling before sleep, try reading a book or listening to calm music. Protecting your mind from digital overload is just as important as feeding your body healthy food.
That leads us to another very helpful practice, spending time in nature. If you live near a park, garden, or open space, go outside for a short walk. Listen to the birds. Look at the trees or the sky. Let the sun touch your face. These moments can heal your mind in ways that technology never can. Even if you live in a busy city, you can find small pieces of nature, a plant on a balcony, a tree on the street, or even a picture of nature on your wall. Studies show that just 5 minutes in nature can reduce stress levels. So if you're feeling heavy or anxious, try stepping outside. Nature helps us slow down and remember that we are part of something bigger than our problems.
And one more lifestyle tip I really believe in is limiting noise. Our world is full of sounds, traffic, people, phones, music, TV. Some sounds are okay, but too much noise can make our mind feel tired. If you can, try to create some quiet time each day. You can use noise-canceling headphones or find a calm place for just 5 minutes. Even closing your eyes and breathing deeply in silence can reset your brain. Quiet moments allow us to think clearly, feel our emotions, and release stress slowly. Silence is not empty. It's full of healing power.
And last but not least, let's talk about routine. Having a regular schedule gives your brain a sense of control and balance. Try to sleep, eat, and take breaks at the same times each day. When your body knows what to expect, your mind feels safer. This doesn't mean your day has to be perfect. Life is not always in our control. But when you follow a simple daily rhythm, your body becomes stronger and your mind becomes calmer. A strong routine is like a bridge. It helps you cross the river of stress more easily.
Beautifully said, Julia. So to everyone listening today, your lifestyle matters. What you eat, how you sleep, how much water you drink, your screen time, your noise level, and the space you live in, these are all keys to reducing stress. You don't have to fix everything at once. Start with one small change. Drink more water. Clean a small area. Walk outside for 5 minutes. Every small change adds strength to your heart and calm to your mind. A peaceful life starts with peaceful choices. And when you make these changes slowly and with love, stress has less power over you. Julia, as we continue this conversation, I think it's time we talk about something very important that is often forgotten when we think about stress and anxiety. And that is the way we think about ourselves, about the world, and about the situations we face every day. Because many times, the stress we feel does not come only from outside situations, like work, school, or family problems, but instead comes from the thoughts that we repeat again and again in our mind. Thoughts that are often negative, full of fear, or focused only on the worst possibilities. And when we keep thinking this way, it becomes a habit, a pattern, and slowly we begin to feel more anxious, more tired, and less confident in ourselves and our future, even when nothing bad has actually happened yet.
That's such a powerful point, Adam, because one of the most common habits people have without even realizing it is negative self-talk, which means we often talk to ourselves in ways we would never speak to a friend, using words that hurt instead of heal, like saying things such as "I'm not good enough," "I always fail," "nothing ever works for me," or "I'll never be happy." And these thoughts become like a loud background voice in our mind that tells us we are not strong, not smart, or not worthy of peace. But the truth is, we can change this voice. We can learn to replace those negative thoughts with kinder, more helpful ones, like "I'm doing my best," "I've survived difficult times before," or "I am learning and growing every day." And even though it takes time and practice, this shift in thinking can truly change the way we experience stress.
Exactly. And when we begin to change the way we talk to ourselves, we are actually changing the way our brain works. Because every time we think a thought, whether positive or negative, our brain creates a connection. And when we think that thought again and again, the connection becomes stronger, like a path in the forest that becomes easier to walk on, the more we use it. So if we keep thinking, "I'm not good at this," that path becomes very deep and automatic. But if we pause and instead think, "This is difficult, but I can learn," we start building a new path. And over time, that positive path becomes stronger, and our brain starts to choose it more often, which means we feel more confident, more hopeful, and less controlled by fear or doubt.
And this is where something called affirmations can help so much, especially for beginners who are just starting their journey toward a more peaceful and powerful life. Because affirmations are short, positive sentences that you can say out loud or quietly in your mind every day, like "I am calm," "I am strong," "I believe in myself," or "I can handle whatever comes my way." And while they may feel simple at first, repeating them every morning or before sleep can help train your brain to think more positively and reduce the stress that comes from negative thinking. And what's beautiful is that you can choose your own affirmations that fit your life and speak directly to your heart and your challenges.
That's beautiful, Julia. And another helpful way to build a positive mindset is to practice gratitude, which means taking time every day to notice and appreciate the things that are good in your life, even the small ones. like having clean water, a friend to talk to, a good meal, a sunny day, or even just the ability to breathe deeply and listen to this podcast. And studies have shown that people who take just a few minutes each day to write down 3 things they are grateful for begin to feel more relaxed, sleep better, and even experience less physical pain. Because when we focus on what we have instead of what we lack, our brain begins to feel safer, more open, and less stressed by fear or worry.
Yes. And one more way to support positive thinking is to be careful about the voices you listen to during your day, whether they come from people around you, social media, TV, or even books and music. Because if you are always surrounded by negative messages, complaints, or scary news, your brain can start to feel more fear and stress without you even noticing it. But when you choose to spend time with kind people, listen to uplifting podcasts, read hopeful stories, or watch things that make you laugh or feel inspired, your mind becomes lighter and more positive, which helps protect you from the heavy pressure of daily stress. So we must remember that just like food feeds our body, words and ideas feed our mind.
So, to all our wonderful listeners, if you are feeling stressed today, I want to encourage you to stop for just one moment. Take a slow breath in and out, and ask yourself, what am I saying to myself right now? And if the words are hurting you, please try to change them gently, not with force or pressure, but with kindness, like how you would speak to a child who is scared or a friend who needs support, because you deserve that same gentle care. And every time you choose a more positive thought, you are giving your brain new strength, your heart new hope, and your body a chance to rest and heal, which is how real, deep peace begins to grow, one thought at a time. All right, everyone. We've come a long way today. We've talked about so many important things, what stress and anxiety really are, how they affect our body and mind, and most importantly, what we can do about them in simple daily ways. We've looked at breathing, exercise, healthy habits, food, water, nature, sleep, and our environment. I hope you now feel more aware and more confident. Remember, stress is not something to be ashamed of. It's part of life. But we don't have to let it control us. We can take small, smart actions every day that help us feel stronger and more peaceful.
Exactly, Adam. And to all our dear listeners, we want you to know you are not alone. Everyone in the world feels stress sometimes. It's okay to feel overwhelmed or nervous. It happens to students, workers, parents, children, and even people who look confident. What's important is how we respond. Do we pause and breathe? Do we take care of our body and mind? Do we talk to someone or take a walk? Or drink some water instead of giving up? These little choices made again and again are how we build peace inside. You are already doing something good right now by listening and learning. That is a step forward. And each step counts.
So if you're feeling tired today, or worried, or unsure about the future, that's okay. Just remember this. You are stronger than your stress. You are bigger than your anxiety. These feelings may visit you, but they don't define you. You can learn, you can grow, and you can choose calm, even when things are hard. Practice one small habit from this podcast today. Maybe it's deep breathing, or cleaning your room, or drinking an extra glass of water. Do it with care. Do it with love. And when you go to sleep tonight, remind yourself, you did your best today. That's more than enough.
We hope this episode brought you peace, encouragement, and some easy tools you can use in your daily life. If you found it helpful, please share it with a friend, a classmate, or a family member. Maybe someone else needs to hear these words today. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The English Globe, for more beginner-friendly English podcasts on useful and powerful topics like this. We are here for you, and we're excited to keep growing and learning together.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. Your time and attention mean a lot. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. Be kind to yourself, be patient with your journey, and don't stop believing in your ability to feel better and do better. You've got this.
Take a deep breath now. Feel the air going in and out. Smile if you can. You're alive. You're learning. And that's something to celebrate. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye for now, and take good care of yourself.